What is going on, Governors? Chisgule here, and today we're going to show a video where someone sends all their troops at me in an attempt, I guess, to zero me? It doesn't go particularly well for the attacker, and we'll give a little bit of context before we show exactly kind of what happened. If you like war-related videos, you should totally like and subscribe, because we're going to give you a lot of those, and we are a sponsored creator with the Rise of Civilizations community program. So with that said, what happened? I'm minding my own business in the middle of this big war, and I see the screen is flashing red. And coming at me is the troops of an individual, and not just a few troops, but a lot of them. This player, I believe, was top 10 for power on our kingdom. Pretty strong player. And 4 or 5 armies were coming at me. I think it was 4. And I've got really good garrison commanders. I've got Richard the First at 5.5.3.2, which is kind of bananas. I've got a talent build that is pretty strong. I mean, he's level 60, right? Like, very tough to crack. And I also have Kusunoki or Sun Tzu if I want as a pairing. Both of them are very, very exceptional as garrison commanders for a city. Especially, I think Kusunoki is particularly good anti-swarm, lifting up that counter-attack damage and doing that great fan-shaped AoE damage. So, anyways, I actually teleport away. I use a random teleport because I don't think this person realizes that they're going to lose a lot of troops, and I think they're just trying to get my attention. So I just random teleport. And the troops go back to their city, but then I see their troops start marching toward one of my allies, who could not defend themselves in the way that I certainly could. Thankfully, they were at the wheel, and they bubbled right before all the armies hit their city. But at this point, I had to teleport back over next to this person who was basically in the middle of a whole bunch of my allies, who could zero any one of them if she wanted to. And I had to teleport and basically take the full force of her armies. So that's what you're going to watch in this video. And at the end, I'll come back with some detailed battle reports. So I've got all those saved. You don't have to pause to see them. This was a long, exhausting day, but there's a bunch of mistakes that I made, and I'll cover those toward the end. And if someone could pin a comment with the timestamps that they think are particularly interesting, I'll pin that comment to this video. So enjoy watching some crazy Garrison City defense. Yeah, here it is. I'm recording this.
Yeah, how to not?
My Garrison commanders are monsters, and they're AoE commanders. I don't even have to heal. My hospital capacity is good. She's about to zero herself on me, dude.
I just lost 1 million until now. Should we send new units? No.
I think she just zeroed herself on me.
You think? I didn't get the report yet.
My hospital's got 63,000 units in it. She has 62,000 dead, 85,000 dead, 46,000 dead, 128,000 dead, 9,000 dead. Whoa, whoa. Am I getting attacked again?
Yes, yes, she's trying again. No, leave her to it. Leave her doing it.
Oh, I can't heal wounded troops right now. Okay, you sure? Tell people to reinforce me. Oh my god.
Jesus.
She's just zeroing her account on me.
I don't know. She just lost 2 million. This is not looking at it. What do you need to help? What do you need to help, bro?
Well, now I have 100,000 wounded. So, that's a thing.
What do you need to heal?
My wall's undamaged. She's hitting me again.
Yeah, what do you need to heal? What do you need to heal your troops?
Just resources.
Which ones?
Oh, I mean,
Everything?
I have resources. To reinforce me instead of standing outside. They just don't want to have deaths. Somehow I'm having deaths.
Really?
Yeah, but my hospital's not full.
That's me.
Yeah, I had 4,000 dead, but she had way more. I mean, she's zeroing herself on me.
No way.
I think this is worth it.
This is. I'm gonna resend them. No worries. Oh, you already have like.
Well, that hospital capacity is paying off. 120,000 capacity.
That joke. That joke. That joke. Like,
124,000 in my hospital. I could dance all day.
when she's completely zero.
She's still zeroing herself on me. What she
Yeah.
doesn't realize is that my capacity is freaking amazing.
This is all we needed.
All right, we are back. And there's a couple mistakes that I made in this video, and they're like so painful to watch. The first is that you'll notice I can't actually heal up. I can't actually heal up while my city is being attacked, but I really should have queued up healing at the hospital during those brief, like 5-second windows between waves of attacks so that I could bring those troops back to the battlefield and not worry about my hospital filling up. This was a huge mistake. And throughout the course of this war, I actually used a bunch of resource tokens, purchased an upgrade to a hospital, and then sped up the hospital upgrade. I think at least twice I cranked out a couple level 22 hospitals. Anyways, things I should have done before the war rather than in the middle of it. So that was a huge mistake, though. Healing as you go is a really big deal. And normally I heal small chunks, but in a situation like that, you want to heal a huge chunk, especially if you're getting near your hospital capacity, and then use a ton of speed ups. Even if you can't wait to get helped, you do not want your troops to die. So that's the big tip I would offer that would make a really big difference. Another thing that I thought maybe I was not doing correctly is I thought people should get in my city rather than attack them from the outside. And I actually am curious for your opinion on this. If they get in my city, it makes our total army capacity very, very high, and it makes it very, really expensive to be attacking into me. With that said, then my alliance members suffer deaths. They suffer 50% deaths. The attacker suffers 100% deaths. But if they just attack her from outside, then they don't suffer any deaths, and neither does she. I think in hindsight, just attacking from outside the city is probably the better play. And that's largely because I had enough troops. I had enough to defend myself that I didn't need that extra help. If I was a weaker, from in a weaker position with fewer troops, then maybe it would have been better to get into my city. I don't know. What do you all think is the right play there? I suppose I could have taken all my troops out of my city. That would have been an option as well, right? I could have dodged the attack entirely. That would have been actually a strong option. I'll be honest. The second you see your city has like 4 armies coming at it, this was my experience. My heart was like, boom, 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 boom. Like, oh God, what's happening, right? So let's get a look at these reports. And I cruised through this particular report already. Pretty staggering, the number of deaths. And like, look, I'm having severely wounded units. And in the video, you heard me be really confused. Like, I'm having deaths, I'm having deaths. But what actually was happening, if we look at the troops here, I had been reinforced. I mean, it's a small number of troops I was reinforced by. But I had been reinforced. So I think that's where those deaths are all coming from. That's why it looks like I had dead units. And I think yeah, I don't know. That math still doesn't add up. So that's a little confusing. Anyways, that's my best guess. Let's see is it in this log? Maybe they add up that way. Anyways, let's go show you another log here. Pretty remarkable. And if I show you the troop buffs, I'm actually in a remarkably strong position here. It's sort of surprising to me that my stats are in a really good place, but I will say that I'm using commanders that boost my stats pretty substantially. My infantry is boosted a whole heck of a lot. My archers are boosted an unbelievable amount. So maybe that's part of where my stat advantage is coming from here. Okay. Also, I guess alliance tech would be super relevant, and our alliance tech was pretty solid. So these reports keep coming along. Multiple waves of attacks here. Pretty incredible. And I'm very happy with the commanders I had as a defensive pairing. I'm very happy with these choices. All right, and so there we go. Kind of remarkable all in all. And, I tried to teleport away to avoid this outcome, but I think my hand was sort of forced when other players then became the target of this potential attack. So I tried to avoid this conflict. It happened. I had about 120,000 severely injured units. I think the total repair cost was like 10 million of each resource, which for me is something I farm up in maybe half a day, anyways. So not that big of a tragedy. But the number of deaths here is pretty staggering. Garrison commanders are really strong. I feel very happy with Richard I's performance, and obviously would recommend him really highly. I do have a clarification about Richard I, by the way. If we look at the troop buffs, it's worth showing that this second skill, Chivalry, I have received, I believe, some confirmation, and I feel confident enough to share it, although I want to double, triple check. But I believe this works both in the garrison and out of the garrison, which is a part of why Richard I is just an amazing commander all around. So anyways, my friends, made some big mistakes yet again, learning a whole heck of a lot from war, and I hope this video was helpful to you. Gave you some strategies if someone is coming at your city, and honestly, like, dodging is the very best choice. In this case, I didn't, because I felt like I had to protect my other alliance members, but hopefully that's something that you can avoid, and until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.